I have recently made another discovery that unsettles me deeply. I found another story I wrote in middle school, but I haven't read it yet. I haven't reread it. I haven't. This is like 5 years, 5 to 6 years old. Middle school was so long ago. This story, unlike the last one, has a title. The title is The Cave. And it's this is also a lot shorter. It's only one chapter. But yeah, I no idea what this is about to say. I have no memory of what this story is. I vaguely remember writing it, but I don't remember the specifics of what happens. But I know that there. Wait, let me tell you if I can remember the plot. Someone wakes up out of like I think a coffin, and they wake up in a cave mysteriously, and they walk around, and then they find someone else, and then there's a monster in the cave that only moves when you're not looking at it. And then um chapter 1, I wake up to the sound of, oh man, it's in present tense. That's crazy. Chapter 1, I wake up to the sound of a door creaking open. I open my eyes, but I can't see anything. There is nothing but darkness. I am inside something made of wood. Where am I think to myself. I suddenly feel like I am being moved. I feel myself waving back and forth while I am carried by someone. Help! I call out, but the movement does not cease. Suddenly I stop swaying back and forth, and am not being moved. I feel myself falling. I land on the ground with a smash. The wooden object I'm in is broken. I pull off the planks of wood and get out. I look up. There is a hole in the ceiling. That's where I dropped from, I think. I feel a sharp pain in my right arm. I have a deep cut on my arm. Another piece of wood injuring someone's arm. What is with this theme? I look at the thing I was carried in. It was a coffin. I am so caught off guard that I fall over. The room around me is barren. There is a group of rats in the corner drinking water from a shallow pool. There is a hallway leading to a room that looks similar to the one I'm in now, and a big number 1 in spray paint above the hallway. I step into the hallway. There is sewer water in the hallway. It smells horrible. I walk through it, struggling not to vomit. I give up and head back to the room I was in. I look around and notice a piece of a bandage hanging from a hook near the pool. I pick it up and examine it. I quickly wrap it around my arm. I examine the room I am in greater detail, looking for something to do to get across the sewer water. The coffin! I rip off pieces of wood on the coffin. I pick up the wooden boards I got from the coffin and place them on the water. What kind of point-and-click puzzle game? What? Cautiously, I go to the edge and place another board. I repeat this cycle for what feels like forever, and I finally make it to the other room. No way that would work. The wood would sink. What? Okay, Owen. I have just enough wood to get across. I step into the new room. I view my surroundings. It is almost identical to the room I was in first. There was a pool in the corner, and I went past tense for a second. Oops. There was a pool in the corner, and a hook with a bandage on it above the pool. There are no rats drinking the water in this room, and instead of a number 1 in spray paint, there is a number 2. There is another hallway, but there is no sewer water in this one. I go through. The next room looks the same too. There is a number 3 instead of the 2. I realize that they are room numbers signaling where I am. The higher the number, the further I am. This is like the back rooms. I keep walking, room after room after room. Each room looks the same until I reach room number 10. In room 10, the lights are still on, and everything looks the same. He just said each room looks the same until I get to room 10, where Room 10 looks the same. I am about to go to the next when I hear a raspy screech from above. I look up and I see it. It is a strange creature, its head small, yet the rest of its body bulky and strong. Before I can run, the lights go out. I start running blindly through the area. I run face first into a wall. Oh my gosh, I was teasing my debut album running towards a wall. The lights turn on. I am next to the pool. The creature is now staring right at me. It starts to sniff the area around it and then patrols the room. I realize it is blind. Oh. I start to slowly try to exit the room, but I hit my arm on the hook near the pool. This is the first time we're hearing about the hook. Well, there was a hook in room 1, right? Where am I? But I hit my arm on the hook near the pool, making a loud rattling noise as it hits the wall. The creature starts running towards my location. I stay completely silent and still. It begins to sniff me out. It figures out exactly where I am. What is going on with the camera? Why does it keep getting like darker and lighter? It happened in the last video too. I begin to run, but it is too fast to outrun. It grabs me and pulls me towards it, its mouth wide open. Suddenly, another person attacks the creature and throws it towards the hook, impaling it. Wow, I immediately look away. I stare in shock at the person, and they stare at me too, as if they were expecting this. Follow me, he says. He pulls me up to my feet. He puts a finger over his lips, motioning for me to be quiet. He takes my arm and slowly guides me to the other side of the room. We walk into room 11. The lights flicker, emitting the almost silent buzzing sound of electricity in a battle against poor wiring. That is such a funny... I'm going to read that again. The lights flicker, emitting the almost silent buzzing sound of electricity in a battle against poor wiring. What does that mean? Oh my gosh, this is so funny. He stops for a moment and then leads me to the next room. We keep walking until we reach room 20, where, instead of a normal room I am used to by now, it is a large room lit by torches on the walls, too high up to reach. There are 2 beds, as if it were a bedroom you would share with a sibling when there are not enough rooms in your parents' house. That is so funny. They are placed on opposite sides of the room, the vertical side touching the wall. There was nothing holding the beds up, and they were just plain mattresses covered in torn blankets. The man looks at me. My name is, if you watched the last video, y'all are not ready for this. My name is David. Oh my gosh. I can't remember the chronology of this. I can't remember if this was the first thing I wrote or the second. It might have been the first. This might have actually dated even before. Can I find the... This is from 2018. This is from... This was created May 7th, 2018. That is 6 years ago. The man looks at me. My name is David. I'm sorry we couldn't talk. He stopped trying to put his words together. Those things have really good hearing. Why do I keep going, those things, in all of my stories? That's so funny. I stop. There's more than one of these? I nod, acting like I'm not completely horrified. I'm Carol, I say. I woke up here after being dropped about 10 feet in a coffin. Me too, he said. His name's Carol too? Oh my gosh. Do you know why we're here? I ask, with a hint of desperation in my voice. Sorry, but I don't. We should get some rest, he says, pointing at the bed beside him. Okay. My stomach growls, as if arguing with my sleepiness. What are these metaphors? In a battle against poor wiring, my stomach growls as if arguing with my sleepiness. What does that mean? I know how to get you some food, Dave says. But you might not want it, he says. I'll eat anything, I say proudly. He leaves and says he'll be right back. About 1 minute later, I regret my statement of pride. He is holding a mouse. It is squirming in fear, while in Dave's giant hands he smiles awkwardly. Bon appetit, he says, cringing at the joke about 1 second later. Can you at least kill it first, I ask. He walks away, and I hear a squeak and a snap. He comes back holding the dead mouse. Try not to think about it too much, he says, handing it to me. I look away and try to bite, but I awkwardly miss. I try again, and I immediately feel horrible. I can feel the fur in my mouth. I spit it out. No, I scream, I can't. I put my hand over my mouth. I hear a faint screech of one of the, as Dave says it, things, and things is in bold. I stay still and wait for it to go. It leaves and goes to room 19. I guess I'm going to bed hungry, I say. It hits me. Wait, don't you need to eat? He looks at the mouse and says, I already ate. This is terrible. Okay, good night, I say. I lay in one bed and he lays in another. I think about what happened and how I got here in the first place. I remember going to my friend Rebecca's house for a party and then what? I can't remember. I close my eyes and go to sleep. I wake up the next morning, or was it night? Since there were no windows or hints of the outside, I had lost track of time. Dave is still asleep. I decide to get some water. I drink from the pool in room 19. The sewer water? It tastes awful. I went back. My stomach growls once more. I look hungrily at the mouse. I take a bite. It tastes completely horrible. I almost puke. I take a bite of the tail. In desperation to eat, I slurp down the tail and then its entire body, piece after piece. I go back to my bed, trying to not think about what I had just done. I was no longer hungry, or maybe I had just lost my appetite. Probably both. About almost an hour passed, and Dave woke up. He stares at me in shock. What? I ask, confused. What? I ask, confused by his surprise. Your face, he says. I feel my face. When I pull my hands off, they are covered in blood. You ate that mouse after all, huh? He asked. I nodded. I washed my face off in room 19. With the sewer water? Let's go, he says. I follow him into room 21. It is a new room instead of the one that all of the previous rooms were. It is a long hallway with a stone wall. At the end is a ladder leading up. I begin to climb it. When we reach the top, the ladder falls to the ground. Dave starts to fall off. I catch him immediately. I pull him up and catch my breath, surprised at my own strength. In this room, I see a piece of paper on the floor. I pick it up and read it aloud. Oh, and it's like a font, or it's like a different font. Looks like someone's handwriting font. I need to get out of here. I feel like this place might be never ending. I am so hungry. I need to eat. It only moves when you can't see it. There's really small text that says it only moves when you can't see it. I look curiously at the small text at the end. I read it. It only moves when you can't see it. We stare at each other in confusion. We walk down the hallway. I hear footsteps behind me. I turn around. I see a different creature. Its arms are long and skinny, has a large head, and is not moving at all. It only moves when you can't see it. Run, I say to Dave, keeping my eyes on the thing. He obeys. I'll meet you up ahead, I yell. Suddenly the thing is a few steps in front of me. I jump back. I didn't even see it move. I blink. It is even closer. Geez, I'm not even allowed to blink. This is just the weeping angels from Doctor Who. That is so funny. I had the craziest Doctor Who obsession when I was like really young. This was after that though. That was like elementary school. Y'all need to watch Doctor Who Lego Edition. That is on my dad's YouTube. I'm going to link that in the description. It was the first film I ever made. It's called Doctor Who Lego Edition, Season 1, Episode 1, and Season 1, Episode 2. And I made more. I made like 5 episodes of it. But my dad never posted those ones. I want to see those so bad. I walk backwards, keeping my eyes wide open. In room 22 there is a huge rock. I didn't even realize how out of place it is. I push it through the doorway. I hear banging on the other side. I trapped it. I keep walking. I look around. There is another area too high up to reach, but no ladder. I look around for anything to use. The rock is too big to climb on. Plus, that thing would get in. I notice a slight glimmer on the wall. There is a silver button. I press it. I hear a mechanism of gears pulling something down from the unreachable area. In my terror, I realize it is a noose. I press the button again. It is pulled up. I press to bring it back down. I grab onto it and press the button. It goes into the air. My hands are holding onto it firmly. I reach the top and keep moving, wondering where Dave was. The next room looks like the rooms I was used to. A pool, a hook, and a number 23. I see a mouse scurry away from me, as if it knew about what happened when I woke up. That is really funny. I see a mouse scurry... Oh, wait, never mind. I just read the same sentence twice. I go to room 24, then 25, and in room 26 I find Dave. He is in a cage of some sort. There are metal bars surrounding it, and the cage is very cramped. He can barely fit in it. What happened? I ask. I fell into a trap or something. I desperately look for a way to help. I see a saw. I realize I have to saw off the bars without accidentally killing Dave. Put your arms behind your back. I say. He does. I start to saw off the bars. What? He's trapped in the cage and I have to saw it off. But I can't cut him because then he'll immediately die, apparently, was what I thought. Chapter 2? I guess it is 2 chapters, huh? Oh, this one's really short. I never finished it. I begin to saw off the bars of the cage, carefully avoiding Dave's body. Half of the bars are sawed off. The cage is still too closed for him to escape. I cut the bars more, narrowly avoiding Dave's neck. I cut off all the bars. How did I think saws worked? I cut the bars more, narrowly avoiding Dave's neck. I cut off all the bars. He leans to the other side. I cut off the other side of the bars. So she... I keep forgetting it's a female protagonist. He can escape now. He carefully crawls out of the cage. Thanks, he says. We go to the next room, room 27. The room is the same as before. A pool, a hook, and another coffin. This one isn't all mangled from a fall, and there is no hole in the ceiling. Look, I say, pointing to the coffin. We both woke up in a coffin, I say excitedly. There could be another person. Where was the one that Dave woke up in? We begin to pull off the wooden planks, but it doesn't budge. I begin to saw off the highest part of the coffin as I can, and I pull off the planks. There in the coffin is a corpse. I immediately put the planks back on so I don't have to see it. Oh my God, I scream, completely terrified. We're going to die, I scream, completely in tears. We're never going to get out of here. I glance over at David, and he looks just as panicked. I hear a screech in the distance. The lights go out. I stay completely still. I am almost hyperventilating. I put a hand over my mouth and hold my breath. I hear footsteps getting nearer and nearer. I can hear the thing breathing about 2 feet away from me. I hear a wooden thud. The creature shrieks, and I hear the sound of the monster dragging something across against the floor. I wait for what feels like hours for the sound to stop, and eventually it stops. The lights turn back on, and what I see terrifies me. The coffin is open now, and a dragging red stain that wasn't there before leads to the next room. End of story. That's all I wrote. That's all I wrote. That's the end of it. Y'all, I gotta find more of these. I don't know if I have more of them. I gotta do a deep dive. I also wrote a bunch of stuff in elementary school too, and I had it printed out. And it's in my closet. I wrote like so many short stories. I need to find that.